I find it increasingly difficult to make film studies on David Benavidez's fights because he does things that aren't exactly the most replicable for your average fighter. Benavidez finds himself walking down almost everyone he fights with relative ease, and we'll be here all day if I'm going to explain everything he does. One thing I was very impressed with in this fight against Demetrius Andrade was his preparedness to take away one of Andrade's best weapons, which is his lateral movement. You see, as a southpaw, Andrade is very good at circling his opponents to his right outside of their lead hand and away from their power hand. However, the big steps he's used to taking to escape his opponent's line of fire to turn them is very risky to do when still in punching range, since his opponents can follow him with a right hand while his mid-step or when his feet are crossed. So here we see as Benavidez is pressing forward, Andrade is looking to circle out to his right to escape the line of fire. However, we see that Andrade makes the mistake of trying to circle out while still in punching range, leading to Benavidez simply following him with a right hand as Andrade is stuck with his feet crossed. The thing is, circling out takes very big steps to actually get around your opponent, so it's very unwise to do this while in punching range, as you'll be very vulnerable during these steps. Here up close, Andrade is going to look to get around Benavidez, so he takes this big step, which Benavidez recognizes, and follows him with a right hand that catches him mid-step and with his feet crossed. Since this was up close, Andrade's best bet would have been to circle out with control to at least make it difficult for Benavidez to follow him. Here we're going to see a similar thing. We see Andrade throws an uppercut and attempts to circle out to get around Benavidez. But since he's still in punching range as he tries to make this big step while circling out, Benavidez simply follows him with a right hand. Here Andrade misses with a right hook and attempts to circle out, but since he's in punching range, once again Benavidez just follows Andrade and then nails him with another right hand. You see, in order to pull off circling out safely, you must create distance first to get out of punching range, then you could circle out. If you are too close to safely create distance, you need to at least control your opponent as you circle out to prevent your opponent from just simply freely punching you, and Andrade did none of these, which is why Benavidez was freely able to just follow him out and punch him. Here's an example of Floyd Mayweather properly circling out by creating distance in the Southpaw versus Orthodox matchup. So we see Mayweather is going to shoot a jab here, which misses, and instead of just circling out the safety, we see Mayweather takes a step back first, and this creates the distance first that's needed before circling out. As you notice, Pacquiao looks to follow Mayweather with a left hand, but the distance created by Mayweather's step back takes that left hand away so that he's safe. And notice on top of it, Mayweather is also sticking out his lead hand to control the space between him and Pacquiao so that Pacquiao doesn't just freely close the distance and chase him down. And now that distance is created, Mayweather is able to circle out to the outside of Pacquiao, the southpaw's lead shoulder. Compare that to what Andrade was doing. As you see, he tries to circle out, but without creating distance and without controlling Benavidez. He keeps doing it within range. He keeps getting caught mid-step or with his feet crossed. And there's just countless examples of this throughout the fight. As you see another instance where he throws the uppercut, tries to circle out while in range, and he just eats an uppercut for his troubles. And then again, you see Andrade just throw a jab, try to circle out, but just gets countered mid-step as he's doing it. Again, trying to get off the ropes, just eats a right hand. And just a few seconds later, trying to circle out again without control and in punching range, and just eats another right hand from Benavidez. And I just want to clear things up that circling out away from your opponent's rear hand is actually a good tactic in the Southpaw versus Orthodox matchup. It's just that doing so in punching range, like Andrade is doing, without creating distance, without controlling your opponent, or without doing it behind a sharp jab, will get you punished against a guy like David Benavidez. And as always, thank you to all my GOAT tier patrons: Jason Maheenan, Grant Gabriel, Albert Chen, Gostel Geza, Mark Price, Marshall Bott, Jesus Galindo, John Stroll, Justin Butler, Clay Cox, Makia O'Sullivan, as well as my channel members Lucas Miller and Hot Pocket Maestro. You guys keep the channel going, as well as the rest of my patrons and everybody watching today. So I'll see you guys all in the next one. Thank you all for watching.